Well, where was the failure on the annexation of the properties up there on Fulton, within a stone's throw of the Hall of Fame Village complex? In interviewing Scott Hawes, I think he was pretty much surprised and stunned when he got back from some kind of a training event to find out that it was a no-go. Where do you think that went awry?
Well, first of all, to be fair and honest, I think all three of us were stunned by that.
Okay.
I don't want to very specifically speak for them, but I just know the dialogue that we had at our last meeting. I think really and truly we were kind of surprised. Not so much maybe perhaps by the first annexation, which was the Tamsal property. But what probably surprised us the most was we were just told no on a CETA agreement that we had spent a lot of time back and forth with for probably 9 months. And I guess what surprised us the most was that there was just no. And I think we would have expected maybe a counter proposal, or hey, we don't like this language, we'd like to change this, but we didn't get any of that. It was just no.
So was it Sam Slyman, the annexation director? Years ago, I've been doing this blog for 10 years now. Mm-hmm. He came to a Stark County Commissioners meeting. Mm-hmm. There's some kind of an annexation, and he billed himself as being the Darth Vader to township officials on annexation. Was that a resurrection of that? And the mayor was, I know Tom Burnaby. He's a pretty reasonable guy, and he's a guy, in my perception, that likes to work with others. Do you think he just bought into Slyman? You think that's what happened?
Honestly, I don't know. I wasn't at that meeting, so I can't tell you the feel for what the environment was or what the eye contact was. Or I just know that Trustee Lino and Eric Williams, our law director, said they just said no. I think you're accurate on what I would call the new school annexation mentality. I think you have the pulse on people who maybe do want to cooperate, because I think these issues have to be new school. Old school is where Sam came from. Old school was, and we have old school people in our township that are totally on the opposite side. So in all fairness, we have
the old school in Plain Township wants no annexation.
That is correct. And it's difficult for people to understand that we have a large population of old school people who do not like the word annexation.
And they probably don't like the word Canton either.
Well, I don't know, because let's face it, Canton does a lot of nice events, and there are a lot of people that go from Plain
and
Township.
You're not speaking for yourself, but I'm just talking about political realities.
Yeah. So there are a lot of people who attend those events. So, but getting back to that old school in the old days, which I was very much a part of, because again, I grew up starting in 1968, recognizing that, this side is going to hate annexation, this side is going to like it. And in those days, the laws were written that you could fight certain things. And I did. I actually testified at a lot of annexation hearings. And actually, I have one that we appealed that was found in our favor. And there's actually case law of testimony that I've done. So annexation issues for me, I'm familiar with them. However, we have had legislation. We've had people that have recognized this contentiousness is not fun. When you start depicting, well, this service over that service, and you start, doing things that certainly aren't in the spirit of cooperation. So we have laws now that have made these situations better. I think we just need to step back, and we need to look at, how can we make this better for everybody? Because in the end, when you look at this Hall of Fame Village and the new creation of that marketing process and all of that, if we could do this right, that could be a model for the rest of the state that, okay, here's how this unfolded with this. This involved a lot of township land. It involved city land. Here's how all these people came together for the betterment of their own communities, which in turn made it better for the entire county. That's what this issue is about. But we are individual entities that are looking out for our own welfare of our own residents. And I think I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, you go ahead.
I think we can do that if we just come back to the table when we look at
Okay, so that's where I was going.
Absolutely.
So if you're retained, if Hawes is reelected, part of the UC going forward is going back to Canton and say, okay, the politics are over. You don't have to worry about that. We've had our election, but we want to do that. Is that what's going to happen?
Well, that's what I would like to see happen.
Okay.
So
Okay.
in my particular case, we need to cooperate. We need to cooperate. How we come about doing that and what we end up with at the end needs to serve both of our communities.
Okay. So